there's so much knowledge out there, man. It's hard to like actually grasp and pinpoint it all.
It's way better than it used to be. I remember like um, looking for stuff about like computers and music when they had a magazine. That was an actual magazine called Computers and Music, but the way to get in touch with them was you called them.
Yeah.
And so we've come far. It's so easy. It used to be the 70s, the whole Earth catalog, things like that, or a library.
Yeah, I
Now
mean, back
it's
then, that's when like in high school there was East Bay magazines I remember getting because we had to get our cross country or track shoes, track uniforms all through this East Bay magazine and sport apparel. Then J.C. Penney had their catalog back then.
that
Uh,
mattered to some people. Like they'd look at it and be like, "I'm getting that and that."
isn't it what you got almost every Christmas?
Yep,
Was a Sears catalog, J.C. Penney catalog. This is what we're gonna have at the mall. Come up to the mall. Let's make this shit happen.
the mall.
Game on. Oh yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. You look like you used to work at the Fashionable Mail.
What was that store called?
The Fashionable Mail.
Is that was that in Miracle City?
No, it was in the movie Mallrats.
Oh, because what was the one in Miracle City? The fancy dude's clothes.
Male Image.
Yeah.
Yep, I had my wedding uh, suits and everything
Oh, yeah.
in tuxes
Yep.
all there.
I've done
We
that.
all got fitted there and everything. That family is an amazing family. They've been around here for so long. Their kids, some of the kids have, or I don't want to ruin and say wrong names, but have a store. They were in Miracle City forever. Then they went over to Searstown, made it happen. That now they're over at the new mall, at the new Miracle City Plaza, and they have a store down there by that Penca Cafe.
What kind of store?
It's a clothing store, like an urban clothing store. They have like a lot of, they'll have like a lot of Lacoste, a lot of your urban kind of. Back in the day, it was all Mecca and Fat Farm. You remember all that
Yep.
back then? It's kind of like whatever has evolved and what's now, And they do a lot of it on Instagram, where it's like you just scroll on Instagram. I want that. I want that. Just message him, and he'll save it for you. Just walk in and pick up what you want, buy it, and go. I used to get a lot of clothes from him back when I was younger.
What was the other store with the right there south of Patrick, and it was like related to Outer Limits, kind of the what was it? You could get whippets and stuff there.
Um, Overall 520 Merritt Island.
Right on A1A. I know you knew.
Oh,
Yeah, homie.
vinyl Frontier.
Is that what it was
No,
called?
no, 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 no.
It ended weird, and
Yeah,
with the
he went
disappearance.
missing.
Yeah.
He was taking DJ Kioki back to his
I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, man. I'm just
uh I'm I'm just drawing Richard. I am drawing such a blank right now to that time frame, but it was Outer Limits. He was the owner.
yep.
They had that head shop down there in Satellite Beach on
That's what I'm talking
A1A,
about. Yeah.
and he had fucked up records. Was the FUCT, records. He had Mike and Charlie, who he was close with and would do a lot with, and Baby Ann, and a lot of these local people. He What I heard is he owed a lot of money to people, and he was taking DJ Kioki after a set back to
Over
the airport,
Orlando, right?
and then no one ever saw him again. So maybe he boarded a plane and left too somewhere else to get away from all the bullshit. I don't know.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully,
Because usually when you own a club, you probably go in pretty big debt. There's probably, you're bringing in all these big acts. There's probably behind the scenes things you don't even know what's going on.
well, you knew what was going on, kind of some
A little
stuff.
bit.
It was pretty spicy,
It was spicy in
pretty
there.
fun. I
I mean,
think,
that's where I
yeah,
started my whole experience with drug use. Like out of high school, it was ecstasy.
yep.
A lot of acid type of experiences and GHB experiences and stuff like that.
There's a lot
Um,
of late night ongoings that just
yeah,
and you could sell alcohol real late
yeah,
back in the day.
yeah. There were some stories, man. The first time I ever, they called it trolling, where you did the ecstasy and the acid. Uh, the ecstasy that we had a lot of, they called them beans back then. They had
Yeah,
a lot of acid in it, a lot of mescaline. So when that counteracted, we were at the bowling place here in Titusville. Me and my couple friends, right? We were at that little bowling alley that it's where the weed store is now, and the West Marine used to be right on A1A or US 1 there in Titusville downtown. It's the Curaleaf now.
Okay. Oh, Woody's old place, the surf shop.
It used to be even before that. I think it was like Sparky's
Okay.
pool billiards back in the 90s.
And the fire department was across the street from it.
Yep. And we'd go play pool there because that's where all, like, if you were 16, 17, you could go in there and play pool till a certain time, and then they served beer for the olders, and we'd go hang out there at first or meet up at somebody's house, and eventually, and then boom, head down to Cocoa Beach because you could start it was right there. It was called Outer Limits, and then it was called something else after that. And it was like a 4-story club where there was, like, on every floor live music pretty much. And they used to bring some of the bigger names. And you had Cyberzone in Orlando. That was kind of like a big, draw on Lee Road out there. A lot of breakbeaters, but they had some crazy, like, they had this, we used to call it the heroin room. Because you'd walk past this one room and everybody would just look there, and it just was like, whoa.
Man, I've seen
They're so much crazier than us.
some flyers, and I remember them rooms.
Yeah.
Some flyers of LP played there,
Okay.
but damn, it's a blank.
Yeah, we saw DJ Rectangle, which was one of our highlights. It was a DJ Magic Mike. He was around Orlando. He had a birthday party, and Rectangle was Warren G's DJ back in the day, and he's over in, I think he's in the UK. Still puts out mix CDs and stuff online. He has a LinkedIn page and a SoundCloud and YouTube and little samples of his intros that he makes. He kind of like mashes up a bunch of intros and then has like songs that he gets approval from famous people, people to use their music in his mixes. And it's a pretty cool guy. But man, all the crazy times back then, stories for days. Like just everything. I met so many people that are just awesome people. There's people that are still rocking. Those raves are huge.
We used to have rave sets, so we do the low pressure, the 4-piece rock band.
Yeah.
Plus the electronic percussion, but sometimes we do this other set for that because there was so much of it.
Yeah.
And it was just all electronic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It was a music that coming out of school you didn't know what it was or understand it. But when you experienced it, at first you're like, what is this? And then you get in there and you really listen to it, and then you do drugs with it, and then you fully understand it. It was weird, man. And then you really start to like just a lot of different parts of, like, Versatile was probably my favorite DJ ever.
Yep.
Brian. And he knew people we knew, or that I knew, and through circles, and lived with people that I, knew. I guess he's from the area, and was just a hell of a good dude. And I know he went to Miami to Basscore Records at one point, and he would let us sit in the DJ booth with him and thumb through records and pull them out for him and shit. We'd be all fucked up. We're like, what do you want next, man? I got you.
I want to say, if I'm remembering right, I want to say that a gig that our record company did in Volusia County Fairgrounds, that it was one of his first big shows.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, he's in New York, right?
He passed away.
What?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Hat tip.
Big time, man. When I used to play Counter-Strike on online when cable modems and everything first came out.
Yep.
And I was looking for, like, what's a good client, like a screen, like, what's my name going to be? And I would always use Versatile because I just loved the way it sounded. It's a good name. It was a good name.
Trying to remember the other big dog from Orlando. It was Andy Hughes, right?
Andy Hughes. He was at the sandbar when I got a big old fight. I got out of it. I came out clean and good, but I shouldn't have. It was super lucky. But him and Joe Roberge saved my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy did. They were...
What's the sandbar?
It's just a little bar over behind Ron John's.
Okay.
Back behind there's a little restaurant. Kind of you can eat there, live music. It's a good little spot in Cocoa Beach.
Back in the day.
This was like in the late 90s. It's still there now. I think it was something else before. I think it's, changed names over since the 90s, and it's Sandbar now currently.
Okay.
But it's a pretty popular spot.
Remember they used to have that the adult store back right behind Ron John.
It's I think it's still there.
If it is, it's not poking out like it used to.
I think because there used to be a Pizza Hut back there too, and then you know what it is? I think there's like an adults only hotel or motel set up right behind that little strip mall where the old Ron John's is and the tattoo shop, and those are all restaurants up there now. Like rock your walk out. Or when's the last time you've been down in Cocoa Beach?
March
this year?
Yeah, I went to that contest that Cannon was at.
Oh, cool. Heck yeah.
So I was right there, but yeah, it's pretty.
It was kind of fun living down there, man. I was on Cherry Down Park, right down by there. Went through a few hurricanes down there in 2007 time. Got to really hang out and do some local drinking. And the ex-wife worked at Graham's down there at the little place that we'd go eat at that Tokyo a lot. And I liked it down there, man. It's a fast crowd. A lot of drugs.
Yeah, it was always
running through.
Way more sped up than T-ville back in the day.
Yeah, big time.
And the water was a little warmer, and there was more coconut trees.
Got to be careful too. A lot of cops.
Yep.
Everywhere. Strip clubs and cops. Cocoa Beach.
Lido's.
Yeah. You have 2 or 3 inner rooms. You had it was Lido's. There was Tootsie's. Is that down a little ways? Is that Satellite?
I'm kind of froggy about it, but probably.
Vinyl Dimensions? Is that the name of that?
Yeah, probably Vinyl.
Head shop?
Yeah.
Vinyl Frontier?
Something like that.
Vinyl Dimensions, I think it was.
Close.
Yeah. And I think his name was Randy.
Okay, that sounds right.
Pretty sure. We have a little intro to the podcast. Let's get the show started.
Cool.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Adjust the Mic podcast.
We're back.
I am one of your hosts, Mr. Scott, and with me is Mr. Thad.
Hello.
Colleen is holding down the house. I think Brent's out of town. Happy Father's Day to you, Brent. I haven't really gotten to talk to you. I know you're going to listen to this, so I'm talking directly to you right now.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all fathers.
Yeah, man. And on top of that, everybody, I hope everyone had a great Father's Day, or at least had some good memories of your fathers on Father's Day. This is episode 201, milestone, past that 200 mark. Let's get this bad boy going.
Cool.
What do you? I know we had some encounters that we were going to talk about in the last episode. I think we were stuck in treasure hunting land. I think we were going to LiDAR your whole property for an ancient village.
Yeah.
Right?
Underneath the clay.
Yeah, it's the new Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Under Thadland.
That's it.
Could you imagine, you have a TP house, right? And then what if under your house I know it can't be because of our
Maybe
underground,
it can. I don't know.
But maybe from old when water was way back again. Another pyramid house, and then another one. And you're just this modern TP
The top of the stack.
guy. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you do gotta live, like go around on boats and stuff.
I went one time into a cool cave, and where they had the cavemen that occupied it, and it was just layers and layers. It's so cool of like occupation.
Caves are awesome. Up in Kentucky, there's a lot of caves.
Yeah.
We got to experience them, and caves are amazing. They're scary though. Like it freaks me out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be spelunking or nothing like that.
I'm not gonna go explore
No.
and find in
Crevices.
these guys. Like they crawl through spaces. How do you know you'll ever be able to turn around and get back out? Sometimes, like I know you know when somebody else has done it first, but when you're the first one doing these things, I mean, I guess it's got to be huge risk.
Maybe
like, just high death rates.
times 10 it when you're one of them people going in the Florida Springs. They're tiny little, and they
Oh,
go way under
man,
there with the line.
yeah.
That's
We'd be at Jenny Springs and you'd be getting people going, "This is Devil Springs down here because, you know, this is one of the deadliest. There's one spot down there where you can't tell which way's which, you know, and everybody gets lost there."
I think
Kind of thing.
doesn't Blue Springs have like you can go down and connect to another lake through a thing?
I think so.
I think my pops used to go down there with scuba gear.
We see people doing that a lot, and then there's like a big log, huge log that's
Yep.
down there, and all of the common folk, you know, we just kind of go down and, "Can you touch the log?" And you're gonna touch the log, and you can't come back up. "I touched the log. It's
gotta-
far down as I'm gonna go though."
I got to be careful with my ears because have you
Ooh.
ever had it where you dive down, they can get blown out or hurt?
Oh, big time.
And I got like I got some.
You have to go down slow and then blow your nose to kind of like push the pressure out a little bit, or
Yeah, I try not to dive deep because I've perforated my eardrum on my left twice. You know, with the new palmetto shoot. I might have
dang.
mentioned that to you. It's one of the things in the woods. You look out for the new stiffy right at ear level after a burn, maybe in spring, and they go right down the ear hole, and they can.
I gotta say, T, I'm a little too quick and not cautious enough sometimes when I'm doing things outside.
Man,
And I catch myself doing that and going, "Man, one day this is gonna backfire."
like if you cut the boots off the green part, the petiole of a palm from, and it's anywhere between knee and face high, you cut it all the way because if you leave that little stick out and you lean into that, that palm at all, you get the eye gouger. I've seen that a lot.
I mean, there's been a couple times where I've leaned down to grab something and go, "Oh,
Poke.
you know,
Yeah.
could have been an eye."
Yeah, I've seen a few things in the woods like that. Or someone one time I remember this guy sharpened a machete as sharp as he possibly could and was showing me, "Look, I filed the burrs off. This is like microns." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty sharp," and it just when shit needs to go real wrong, that's when it does. And it got caught on a string, the part that's supposed to hook into your belt, and it got pulled and raked across his arm, and it opened him up all the layers of the skin, and sprayed my vehicle.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's the days. Like I sharpened it
That
as sharp
hurts.
as I've ever put it to the blade. Yeah.
I'm trying to learn to be better with using gloves outside. Like when you're out there working in the yard and stuff, you know, it's so easy just to walk out there. I'm on a phone call. I'll go, "I need to trim this back. Let me go get the clippers real quick and do it." And I'll start trimming. Then you start doing something else. And before you know it, your hands are either cut, you have some kind of rose, splinter or sticker, in your arm.
Yeah, a lot.
Something's cut, something like one of your fingernails hangers, kind of rips out or something and hurts.
I don't like the big floppy gloves. I like the tight leather ones with the thing on the wrist. You can cinch it, and they're kind of tacky.
Okay.
I don't like those big floppy ones, except if I'm digging in the earth and like fluffing soil and getting the wood out and all that.
I've noticed there's a lot more of those ones that are kind of like a Teflon, or it's like real thin,
I don't.
or
use
it's like
much of that.
it's got this rubbery kind of coating on it or whatever on your hands, but it's real light and airy in the back.
Real tacky for gripping.
Yeah.
But the vines in our woods, of course, will rip them.
They do. And it's really hard. Like, you don't want to be wearing gloves when you're drilling or doing other things because it like can get caught up into the drill and everything. So it's kind of wild. So what's been going on, man?
Well, been getting it done, and we're supposed to remember that Scott and I were cruising around the woods, and
Oh yeah, encounters.
yeah, we've seen some. The water is at a level where Scott and I could be where the ground is still moist and has the grubs in it, so the pigs are hanging out rooting for stuff.
And you were just what were we doing? Like I came over, you were showing me some of the work in the studio, some of the ideas. I really like where you have that the bed and everything, and I like just all the ideas that you have, and we got the TV put up and everything. So this looks great, man.
Thanks.
Does it feel good?
Yep. Yeah.
Like coming over there the first time, I was like, this is the coolest shit for any adult to have. Like this is a man cave times 100. You know, it's just so awesome. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Boom, awesome studio. You know, just built solid. You know, hardcore. Then it's underwater for weeks,
Months.
months. Insurance, getting all that done, getting all the work done, and that's just you and Monica. I did most of the work because I know I did the floor. That painted the floor that one time for 45 minutes or a half hour.
Yeah, you can claim that.
That's probably most of what needed to be done to
Yeah.
get it all back up into snuff to be accessible again.
You should get credit for all of it. Should I get that?
Who is it? Is someone knocking on the door?
Maybe.
Let me check my phone. Sometimes it's just people walking by. You never know. Let's see what we got here. Yep, we have just people walking down the road.
I got this for you. So Scott and I seen them pigs. We seen some little shoats. I think they're called, little guys.
Yeah, dude. And the way that happened was kind of cool because you have this point where you can walk out and it just everything opens up and you just see all this cool stuff, right? It's just a big open field. It's really cool. There's we were just walking and just kind of checking stuff out, and there was an area of your property that you got this little path. And what happened?
Well, we seen them, the little guys. It was a dark one, and then it was like a red.
It's just a little guy.
Little two of them.
Just turning around, and you saw it like a hawk. 'Cause, I mean, you live out in this area. You have to be encountering things all the time, and they can just. I mean, you've told me you've had some crazy encounters with gators where they're just boom, you walk right up on them.
I've had many, 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 many encounters with these pigs, but I'm pretty. I've been, I guess it's luck plus preparation and mindfulness to not be like just whoa and turn a corner and slip, and all of a sudden a bunch of big males are like, look, dinner, make a little bit of noise, and if usually they see you, they boogie, but it is usually when those little guys were curious to us, and they'll grow up and they'll get rid of that because they'll find out that we're shitheads.
Yeah,
But when they weren't, that's when you don't want mom to show up.
yeah.
And I got some stats for you.
Mm.
Let's see. There you go.
80% occurred in non-hunting circumstances.
Pig attacks.
Pig attacks. 70% of victims died due to blood loss. 86% of attacks occurred in daylight. So that means they're up and rooting during the day, and they're protecting their areas during the day. Someone walks right by, some of their territory, or maybe a little piggy. Mama's gonna come out and bust some ass.
Yeah, if like you run into like a really big pack and you're unaware, and they're kind of unaware of you, and it's all last minute. But I'm pretty much looking for a tree anywhere I'm at, or I got a stick or a loud noise. Usually they go away, but they say there's a couple like Ted Bundys, like that just want to aggress at you.
Yeah.
Some woman.
Are they rabid? Could it be a rabid type of?
Not these that this guy in this article is talking about. He did a lot of data gathering, and he said that it's sometimes they get they just want to eat you, but not often.
I mean, but these dudes are insane.
Some people have got 8 though. Like in Texas, someone got 8.
They shoot them out of helicopters. For
how big,
sport.
Look how big that guy is. If you had like 15 of them and you turn a corner and you fell, and they're like,
oh yeah,
he just fell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to mess with them.
But yeah, there's not as many as there used to be. There used to be so many more. There's people getting them all the time, from the Cape and all the woods. They get a lot.
Frank's got to see them all the time.
Yeah, but not as many as there was.
Okay.
Remember, I mean,
it's been open hunt kind of on them forever now, right?
they got little crews paid by the state, I think. One of Monica's uncles was that guy. He's like, oh, yeah, we're getting 20 a month from the Space Center and some places around here. But, that's not even like Joe Blow.
Yeah.
And so, you like the pig meat?
No, I have a friend who hunts and's got a couple of them, and he said they got one that was tasted fairly good, and they had one that was just almost, unedible, just awful. And I guess there's a certain time when it's like you can eat, they're good to eat, and then there's a time when you don't want to eat these things anymore. I'm sure it's kind of like other fish and other species, and there's some pretty in-depth good podcasts out there with Rogan had a couple guys on, the Meat Eater podcast guy and everything. They just talk about like the times a year that a bear or a certain animal is eating certain types of foods, like when bears are eating blueberries. And if you get a bear and process a bear and you eat it, you'll taste the blueberries within that meat. If that's one of their main sources of diet, depending on what their diet is, it'll attribute to the quality of their taste of meat.
Yeah, I always heard that's real interesting. I always heard that. You seen the bot flies on the squirrel body in the summer,
Yep.
and they say don't eat the squirrels in the summer. I'm like, okay. It's like the big old Michelin man with no arms and legs.
Yeah. Are you gonna eat a squirrel ever? No.
No, but if I was,
If you had to, yeah, sure. And a lot of people do. I mean, Oregon Trail, they were 2 pounds. Every squirrel you got 2 pounds. Helps you not get dysentery. Did you ever play that game? When we were in middle school, PCs, everybody's first getting their Tandy computers, and there was a game that every class in elementary school, in middle school, would allow their kids to play, and one of them was Oregon Trail. And you're just doing this little game, and you have your little team of guys, and you got to like go hunting every once in a while and get a bear, get a squirrel, get deer, and then you got to cross a river. And if you're crossing the river, you either float across or you think it's not too deep, so you think you can just walk across it with your cattle and everything, and that's when you lose half your shit because it all goes downstream, and you're fucked. And everybody's sick and dysentery, and everybody dies. So you got to make it all the way to the end. And they had these one of the hunting things, they got these squirrels, and they're everywhere. They're only a pound or two apiece, and no one ever wants to shoot the damn things.
There's a lot of places around here with the small game season. It's just all year.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got to tell you this, but there was a dude. I heard about a dude 15 years ago who he would eat like birds off the side of the road. Yeah, and
I've heard of people like this, and he was a local guy, right?
Yeah, but this guy was gonna eat a turkey vulture that got hit.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
That's
They
disgusting.
smell like a dumpster.
Do people eat osprey? I know they're endangered and you're not allowed or supposed to, but
I always heard the sandhill crane is really good.
okay, is it?
Yeah.
What about pelican?
And I'm sure somebody's macked it. I ate a rattlesnake. I ate all the stuff around here. The bass, the turtle, they all taste like, well, everyone says, is it chicken? But if it tastes like chicken, I'm calling it Florida mud chicken because everything tastes like the mud at the bottom of Fox Lake kind of mud.
Yeah, it's kind of a little gnarly.
The frog legs,
What about venison?
I love venison. One of my best friends growing up, his family owned a fawn mill. So you're into venison.
So good, big time.
Think about that.
Oh yeah, it's really tasty.
All right.
Buddy Derek,
We'll get back to that.
always usually has some, and definitely. Let's definitely talk about that. Gets the sausages and gets it. He has a place in Georgia where we, on their property, and we'll go up. If he gets anything, he just, calls these people, drops it off. They process it for him pretty much how he wants. Boom.
Clint.
It's amazing.
Clint Siddons.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Nice.
Man, every once in a while he'll come by and.
Heck yeah. I know Josh. See, I used to hang out with Josh Siddons a little bit.
Yeah, he's cool.
So, yeah, we all kind of hung out. That was in my partying days. I don't think he wasn't partying like
Josh,
we were. He was just out.
Lindsay.
Yeah. Him and Ryan Nolan were good friends.
Yep.
They were. I think I went with Ryan Nolan. He went to Cancun with us. Like I think only 3 of us from Astronaut went, and like 50 people from Titusville went.
Man, I got to let you know something. Remember, okay, what year was that? Cancun?
97.
97. Just going to let you know that it was me and Steve that filled your reserve tank, your scuba tank up with farts.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience down there, but very eye-opening. As a coming out of high school, going to another area, another place, another lifestyle, talking to some locals, starting to kind of see the difference in how things are. It was super cool.
They're probably getting some strong winds down there lately, huh?
We are here too.
Let's see. Let's give it a gander.
Texas has some gnarly weather going on right now. We have what do we have? Our first named storm, right, or something off the coast.
Let's see. Well, here's a little weather synopsis. Yeah, there's a little low east of us, and I guess right in our area, we're going to get some northeast winds and tonight, and it's going to blow pretty hard till it rotates to southeast, and by Saturday, it's kind of calms down. What are they saying here? The low pressure is going to approach the northern half of the local waters tonight, and they're watching it for tropical development.
I mean, and like sitting outside last night, it was windy, man. The winds were whipping.
There you go. Earth Null School.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, they're getting tore up in Texas. That wind.
Yeah, man. So Texas is getting it. Florida, we're predicted to have one of the busier and heavier named storm seasons, right?
That back in the day was bale weather, the Easties.
Yeah.
You know, you find a barnacle bale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain that?
Well, like the winds blowing like this back in the day. I mean, probably now too. But in the 80s and 90s, there's lots of you'd find bales and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Bales.
I wasn't on the same. Yeah. Some square groupers.
Yeah.
I always wanted to find something on the beach, showing up real early in the morning to go fishing or when you're surfing, anything. Just find something floating, bring it to shore, and be rich from it.
Many, many cool stories like that.
There are.
Yeah.
Fucking cocaine bales.
That's what comes to mind down in.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few stories.
Can you imagine, dude?
Yeah.
Like, is this any good? Yeah. Like, what do you like? It'd be a nightmare scenario for the random person, right? Because you're gonna probably use it, try it or something at some point, and then you're gonna get like all twirled up into the wrong fucking shit. Or you could be like a real smart person, fucking know that it's real, parse it up, unload it, or you're gonna be like most people and turn it in, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what's inside the bale. If it's the white stuff back in the day,
yeah,
it could rock your world, or maybe you could manage it, but
Peruvian gold, then you keep it, right?
it's gonna sink though.
Yeah. The technology now, they come over in submarines now. It's so wild. So insane, man.
Oh, yeah.
All the different ways that they can get that here.
Little suicide subs.
Yeah, man. The airplane drops and stuff from back in the day, that was gnarly, man. It was just you, the air, coppers, the air traffic controller, right? You might, I guess the Air Force would have to get involved. Some jets and shit every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Wild West. Probably still is.
Yeah, man. Movie Blow just portrays that in such a good way.
Yeah.
It's wild. So what's else going on with you, man?
I'm wrapping up some mixes.
Yeah.
Yep. And getting ready for kind of doing a bunch of bullshit work to get ready because Jonas and Misty are coming down, kind of tidying up,
Nice. What? Couple weeks, right? Next week.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just down a couple weeks ago, so it'd be awesome to have them over again.
Hell yeah.
So get another episode in with them.
Yeah.
See how everything's going. They we'll have to get a little a little gun range
target practice.
Little target practice with the 22s. I love those little Ruger 1022s,
Yeah.
man. They're great. They're fun, cheap, easy to shoot. Shoot them a lot. I used to have a permit and everything. Used to have quite a few firearms. Used to shoot down at the Titusville, the gun range in Mims. It's the one over there off of um, what is that? Loftman Lake.
Oh yeah, what's it like, $10?
I think so. It was a pretty cool place. You had some of your range officer guys there that were very particular, but I mean they were being safe. You had people that wanted a little more freedom to do things. You'd always hear these little arguments and little, you know, I know what I'm doing,
Oh yeah.
kind of attitudes, out of people. Used to hear if you were at Loftman Lake eating, you'd hear people tell stories of we've had a lot of bullets come over and land real close to us.
Do you hear them shooting from here ever
I
on a
haven't.
quiet night?
I bet I could if I was really trying,
Like a
trying
little,
for it.
little west wind.
Yeah, but I haven't. I'm sure you do, right?
Yeah, once in a while, like on Sundays, I might hear it's got to be the cops with something fully automatic just spraying. Just
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's a cool little place out there too, man. It's like oak trees and just oak leaves all over the place and dirt road and all these little like just little buildings out there, and little areas for setting up and storage, and it's really neat, man. It's the Florida. You get the right, oak tree, woodsy kind of situation. Man, it's just a beautiful way to live.
yeah,
The canopies are just amazing.
yeah. There's a couple spots in town that are kind of forgotten and empty, but they funnel that like in the winter when you get that onshore wind, it comes up under the big oaks and magnolias, and it's all clean and it's no mosquitoes.
Not too long ago, I would not care anything about any of this stuff. It's amazing how, as you age, you start to really appreciate different parts and things in life. It's pretty cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, like my father was always into plants growing up, always.
It was my
You know,
mom.
His house was always like my grandparents' house was like decked out, just landscaped beautifully all the time. And a lot of it was my dad, most of it all
Yeah,
the
I see.
time.
He's got the green thumb.
They, Gary and stuff was telling me stories back in the day. Uh, and they have a pool in the back of their house, and it's over off of Tropic in a cool area. I love that area off of Tropic and everything, and Poinsett Avenue and all that.
Yep.
And the house had a pool in the back. You'd have to drive down the driveway, and then it was like, the garage was detached from the house, and it kind of past the pool area, and there wasn't much like to be mowed or landscaped or anything in the back. Maybe just a patch that's a lot smaller than this room even. And my dad had that thing grown, so high you could see it all around the neighborhood, and it was like a jungle back there. And he was telling stories about him and Gary growing up. They had like a weed plant that start getting a certain height and they wouldn't know, like my grandmother, finally she'd go, I know what that is. And he'd be like, oh no, and take it down real quick. Yeah.
He kept topping it. Yep.
I
remember them days.
Back in the late 70s and all that,
Yep.
So my grandfather would always be working doing the trucking thing back then. So what I'm doing. So he was always gone and working and up in Georgia and shit. So just the boys were kind of running wild down here.
And that soil out there is great.
It really is.
That Fairglen black gold.
Dude, it was so like he had that back. I was so impressed with how he handled that yard. I'm trying to kind of, I guess, follow in his footsteps a little bit here.
It's just too fun. I was talking to Ryan Ordanetto. I was talking to Ryan the other day because he's on the same tip. And
Oh, definitely. His house is beautiful out there in California, man.
yeah, it's almost like that's a good. Just I think maybe
Like a ranch style house. Is that what it's called? I'm probably wrong.
Super old. Some people built it, and part of it's carved into the mountain, and that's his studio.
And it has like a cool basement area. It has just is he growing kind of like on a incline?
Yep. Yeah.
Like a 30-degree-ish type of situation.
Yeah, he's got even, when he got the land, it had the old manzanita, I don't know something like that. It means apple,
Okay.
and it's some kind of mountain apple that grows up there. And he's got plums, and he's got lots of earth boxes.
Very cool.
But we were saying that kind of farming is like almost in some people's like it's a fit, like breathing. You feel good.
It's I feel like growing up, it was something I never had like access to fully.
Yeah.
To farmers or farming, it was never a part of our family structure. Um, and I always kind of like I'd see movies or I'd see shows or I'd see things, and I was like, man, might be kind of cool to grow up on a farm and live that lifestyle, and you know, what's up, like give it a try. And so you kind of almost get like a romantic kind of a thing with it as a kid, maybe, or as a younger person with an imagination, trying to go, what am I going to do in life? What's my calling? Am I going to live in a big city? Am I going to live in a little town? Am I going to travel a lot? Like, what is and usually people that farm are that people that don't really want to travel everywhere and live a fast lifestyle. They want to live a comfortable family lifestyle, or where you work hard or you work for yourself and you're working with the land and you care about it, and some people do it just because this is the way I've only known, and it's like you've inherited it from a family member who maybe had a real passion for planting and plants and
That was my mom.
all that. Was it?
And my dad was into like the bonsai, but my mom was into everything.
Really?
And we had our neighbors.
Is that where you think you got it from moms?
For sure.
Just your love of the outdoors and everything.
She always had like a different patches of gardens going, but she had a little greenhouse, and she always have like plants going in different stages, and always a little workstation, where you can, even if it's raining, you can go in there and transplant seedlings or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like having one of them.
It's really peaceful. Like in today's age, everybody has a lawn service that cuts their yard for them. There's a spectrum of people who are working that type of job that truly care about the yards that they're cutting, and some of them do a great job. I'm not gonna hate on the practice because I think it's essential. Like I think I could do that
I mean,
job.
like landscaping.
Yeah,
That's
like
great job
landscaping and mowing and just all of my brother did it for a long time, and I love going outside and mowing my own yard because it helps me see what needs work, what doesn't. Like it helps you walk your yard to and I keep trying to have less grass to mow, so I keep trying to plant more beds, more areas, so I can spend more time doing that and less time pushing a mower and trying to make everything look uniform. I've always hated that, like I always was proud of how my yard looked after I mow it because it looks nice, it looks good, it has the whole presentation, right? But when you start planting things and seeing how they grow, and seeing like when you go to like a really nice garden, like a Lucas Gardens or Lou Gardens out in Orlando, and some of these other amazing Rockledge gardens, and you'll start seeing how they set up little areas, and you're like, who thought of that and how? And really, all it took was someone just throwing something in the ground, creating like a little atmosphere around it, and just giving it a little attention and love and watching it grow, and then taking care of it. And before you know it, you have this area to it looks like a paradise that you could see in an Instagram clip. And it probably didn't take much effort to do. And you start seeing that when you start doing things out in your own yard or your own, environment. You start taking care of it and caring about it a little bit. It's kind of cool.
Is your gator shield working?
Yeah. I haven't seen any gators yet, but the water's full now with all the rain we've been getting. So I've been going back there and kind of checking it out and everything, and we haven't seen any gators yet.
But they're still going to demuck it.
Yeah, and dogs haven't even tried getting past it all. They should be. Like this is right around the time every year when they start. June, July is when you start seeing those Asplunda trucks come in and clearing out, and everything's looking pretty grown over there. So it's due, and with it being hurricane season right now, it'd be a good time.
Yep.
Get that taken care of.
Yeah, you saw that we cut the knife Michael Raymond knives came up and he did the
What's
hard
going on,
part.
Mike? We got to get him on at some point whenever he's ready.
He was up on my roof, just
I heard about that. That's like
he was tied off.
your roof is intense because it's like at it's a 45-degree angle, practically, right? I mean, you have a TP thing going on there, man, and to be able to stand on that with some stability and
It's
cut
sketchy.
down huge oak tree, like, are you holding a rope and trying to pull the logs down, or you guys have like a pulley system over top of over the oak trees, or was he just cutting and dropping?
We tied a big rope around a couple of open windows in the Belvedere, and then tied him to that, and then tied that to like a body thing he made.
That's
and
cool.
He went out on like the seam, and he'd stand up with that long pole saw and do like a squat press and cut it, and then tumble it out to where I could grab it off the ground and pull it out. So he did all the hard stuff. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. That's amazing.
Yeah, I helped build that roof,
Yeah.
and after being up there, and then I saw the roofers after the hurricanes, or I seen them up there walking around with the 50-pound bags,
Yeah.
with no tie off, and just like, that's
Nah.
some people can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That you have a lot of big old oak trees right around there, man. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, that one oak tree that's on the northwest corner that's real big, it's close to the house. That's from a seedling that Summers got from, what's the name of the red lion up on 50?
A gold line?
Gold lion.
Yep.
Those big oaks. It come from that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Got that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I was, speaking of Summers, I saw Rob Summers of a T-Bone
Cool.
and got all these koozies made. We had them sitting around here, and Colleen dropped them off for us, and it was cool, man. Rob's been doing the T-shirt game around here for a very long time. I graduated in '97, and I think in '98 or '99 is when I joined. I was working at Subway, and from there I went over to T-Bone Designs, printing T-shirts for a while. And every time I see him, man, he's he's gone through some kidney issues. He's gone through things where you're like, man, this job is, an intense, it's a hardworking job, and it's a lot. And 20 plus years in, he's still rocking it. It looks as good as it ever has. He's got automatic presses back there now. He's got a crew of people back there just making shit happen, and proud of him, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of Playalinda shirts out there, and NASA shirts, and if like shirts that are just like launch, ready.
Yeah, he's got his own line now, right?
Yeah, he does his own stuff, man.
That's cool.
And you can just walk in and buy it. And it's the old, what is it, Segos?
Segos. It's across the street from
It's
taco place.
Yeah, and it was the that CNR Designs. It was a bank back in the day. I mean, that thing's been so many places. My Uncle Mike worked there when it was the CNR Designs.
I remember Keith Lyerly's mom worked there.
Okay.
Jean, I think.
Yeah.
In the bank back in the day.
Wow. I remember when it was a
Not
bank.
Jean.
It was in the 80s. It was a bank.
Yep.
I think I remember either going with my mom or somebody going into that bank before. It was like a big tall thing. It looked all badass. Now it's like nothing.
When I was a kid, when you cruised past there on your bike, we were always like looking for this one, like adult, like is just gnarly. Boy, you didn't not want to go slow in there.
So there was a dude that would just like rage on you.
He was just mean and like start shit with kids. And remember, being in the donut shop with my buddy and his dad, and he tried.
The donut shop.
And he was like, my friend's dad had like straightened the guy out. He was just aggro.
Wow.
Yeah.
People are, man. I got stuck watching videos the other day of people that argue in neighborhoods over their property lines, and like people will like put up things like the side of people's houses. You might have like 15 feet to play with, of yard space. And there'll be somebody trying to plant something like a foot over their yard, and then the neighbors getting in an argument. And then before you know it, they're building these little fake walls, and they're knocking each other's walls down, and it turns into this squabble of all squabbles over like a foot of this ground. Or like I saw one today. It's actually a guy I like a lot too, and I'm not judging him here, but he has a huge oak tree that is in his neighbor's yard, but a good chunk of it comes over to his yard and his backyard. And the guy, I guess, has some kind of tree trimmer out there, cutting things and doing whatever. And then this guy's getting mad because that guy's equipment has to be a couple feet on his yard, on his edge, just to get the thing done. You know what I mean? People just get so mean and just where's the be chill, man? Calm down. It's all right.
Yeah, it's good fences make good neighbors, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't know, man. Let's take a break.
All right. Did you ever hear that one?
I got which one?
Good fences make good neighbors.
Yeah, I have.
It's kind of a cool shorty. Because, damn, they just can't share.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
They can't. Everybody's all greedy.
Is that right?
Well, now I'm back and I'm hoping it's smile for me once. Won't you take a look? And now that it's over, I should write a book on how I can all the shit you were used to. Walking in my sleep now, talk cause I choose to. Bow down, I'm taking over. Coming with original style, having like Rover. Tell me, girl, what you wanna do? I'll brush you in the hair with a pearl wing statue. Now, the time I get real fresh, I'm around like I'm the dog deep. The mic check, get nasty, don't get freaky. Trying to keep it down cause my bed is squeaky. Meow, 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 meow. I woke up to a chick sucking my D. Things gotta change when you try to get behind me. A little wicked wild when I threw off the bed. Jumped up on the top rope, balls on your forehead. Now, a little drink in the mix. Kentucky Fried Chicken with a 2-piece biscuit. That's what I like, that's what I'm gonna eat. A batch of collard greens, side order some pigs free. Coming down with original style. Back to the wicked and the wild. Wasn't this shit what I like to do when you get on through with the do-ke-do now? Meow, 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 meow. Isn't it on the bumper?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hello?
I said hello.
Yeah, who is this?
Why do you're the one that called me.
I want to know who you are.
Why?
Look, I have seen your number on my man's cell history.
I don't think so.
Yes, I did. More than once.
Okay.
Why are you calling my boyfriend?
I don't know who you are, what you're talking about.
What is going on?
I'm an old lady. I am a
I cannot
grandmother with
believe you.
grandchildren.
How long has this been going on for?
I don't know what you are talking about.
You tell me the truth.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know who this is right now.
Why?
Let me ask you a question. Why are you calling my girlfriend in the middle of the night?
I don't call no girls in the middle of the night.
Don't
You got
make
the wrong
excuses,
number.
boy. You tell me who you are. Don't deny it, boy. You better tell me the truth right now.
I'm gonna call the police because you're harassing me, and I have not called your
and listen.
girlfriend. I did not call your girlfriend in the middle of the night. You hear me,
I am
boy?
so angry right now. You are getting me frustrated.
I'm not calling anybody.
How long this been going on between you and her?
I don't even know who she is.
Oh.
I don't even have a girlfriend. I'm single.
You've been knowing what's going on, no doubt.
Somebody gave you the wrong number. You're making a mistake, buddy. Oh.
He's in the trees.
And we're back in the trees. Together. I got a halftime show. That was pretty damn good there, T.
Predator.
Gotta find my applause.
Hey, you.
We are back from break.
We're back.
Before we get into your withholdings, the trade deadline for the NBA has begun, I guess. I did not know that it started already. Josh Giddey just got traded to the Bulls for Alex Caruso, who's going to OKC, and it makes a lot of sense. Both, like, Giddey needed to have a change of environment. He had a poor playoffs. So it was a good move, I think, overall for probably both teams. Caruso is 41% three-point shooter, a great role player. He's somebody that a lot of teams wanted. I know us in Orlando, a lot of our fans were kind of hoping to get a player of his skill set, to join our team for this upcoming season. It was the first, I think, of many shocking things, because this is like the offseason for the NBA. The Celtics just won the championship. Congratulations to you, Charlie Lord, because I know how much Boston means to you. Larry Bird's my favorite player of all time, so I still hate to see Boston win, so I don't like saying any of this. Fuck Boston. But you guys won. Congratulations. Damn it. Like, you guys figured it out. They brought in Drew Holiday, one player. And this one player started off in Philly, got traded away, was getting injured a lot, went up to the Bucks and wanted to help Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship. They got big, eyes when Damian Lillard came into play. Like, we're going to change it up, and we're going to take this player from Portland, and we're going to be even better. Boston, you can take the best defensive player that helped us win a championship last year, and you can win one with him now. Pretty much that's what happened. And the Bucks sucked because that was a poor move. They should have just stuck with what they had, and they would have been better off. And Drew Holiday was a big reason in Boston's championship. And Tatum stepped up, and, their big players, Brown, stepped up like they were supposed to, so all the credit. So now we're we're in the offseason. We got the draft coming up soon. Orlando, we think we're getting Klay Thompson or Paul George or one of these real big names. I don't think we're going to get any of them. We're probably going to sign like a couple mid-levels or keep everybody we got. But I hope we are exploring some of these big-time, additions. And do they benefit us? Like, you don't want to mess with the culture of your young team, and you got money to spend in the future, so you want to have that money for them so you can keep your players, and you're breeding a culture of keeping your players and making them want to stay here. There's a lot of players on our team that are not going to be with us next year that we all love as Magic fans, and they're all going to go to new teams. And those new teams that they're going to go to are probably going to get some really good deals and some really good kids, because the culture Orlando is finally creating a culture of reputation and respect within the league. And you're hearing these basketball podcasts start bringing up Orlando in the mix. Just to good in the playoffs. They're a piece or two away. What are they going to do? So it's going to be interesting. It's kind of awesome. Everybody at work, all sports fans, so everybody's kind of talking this all day. And it's nice. So
where's it all going next year? What do you see?
Well, I think Boston and the East is going to stay where they are. I think the OKC is so young and so good that unless they have some like big injuries or some catastrophes, or unless some other teams really start to figure some things out, I think they're still going to keep the West. The Spurs are a big team to keep an eye on, because they need to start putting some star power behind next to their Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is a 7'4'5" French phenom who's got like an 8'11" wingspan
Whoa.
and is skilled like a point guard, shoot threes, one of the best defenders in the league already. He probably should have won Defensive Player of the Year this year as a rookie, which is
one more time.
insane to see. Victor Wembanyama. There he is. Look at this guy. This guy is huge. He was the Rookie of the Year for the Spurs. He is a highly skilled player, and they were one of the worst teams in the league this year. So he needs to get some young talent behind him, some guys to help him. They got money, I think, to pay. So they're a team to look out for. The Rockets are a huge team to look out for. They got players that are gritty and really good. I love that Sengun kid that they have. I think what's it, Jeff Green or something is his name. He's just so freaking good, and I think he's just starting to realize how good he can be. So I think the sky's the limit for him. It's going to be interesting to see what Ja Morant with the Grizzlies. There's not really a lot of good. No, not that. I'm wrong on that. It's Jalen Green. I'm sorry. My apologies. So they have some like really good young players, and the style of basketball is starting to be a closer mimic to the European style of FIBA, where there's a lot more quick passing, good defense, proper basketball,
as opposed to
team basketball. Back in the Michael Jordan days, when Michael Jordan came into the league, a lot of sports leagues are copycat, meaning when they see one style of play, other people will follow that style, and that style will become a thing. That was Silas. It's fine. The style of basketball was ISO back then. A lot of isolation. There was no you couldn't play like a zone defense. It was man-on-man defense. So if you had a mismatch on your man, you got the ball off that game, and you were expected to do your thing. Nowadays, there's a lot of different help defenses and double teams and traps and things that they do that they used to not, and they did it more in the college game.
Yeah.
That you really have to play really good defense. You need to have long arms. You need to be a long team that can, when you put your arms down and defend, you need to take up as much space as possible to make that passing lane that much harder. And this new way, and you got all these freak type of athletes, like these Greek, Giannis Akatempo with the Bucks is like, just a big, long, just amazing athlete. You have the Victor Wembanyama coming in. The Florida Gators just announced today that this kid, I can't remember his name. He's 7'9". At 8 years old, he was 6'1" or something like that, or like a 10-year-old or something. He is just signed to the Florida Gators to play basketball for their college, and this motherfucker just grabs the ball, turns around, and just drops it in the net. It's absolutely amazing. This guy's huge.
You said Gainesville?
Yeah, Florida Gators, high school recruit Oliver Rio. He's set the world record as the tallest player, 7'9", committed to Florida Gators basketball program. Look how tall that guy is. When he catches the ball, he just turns around and just drops it into the basket. You don't even have to jump to dunk it. It's absolutely insane. So he's going to be a spectacle to watch in college basketball this coming year. There's been a lot of other big guys like him, your Manute Bowles, your Taco Falls, your all these other big guys. So it'll be interesting to see. Like, I haven't seen this guy shoot an outside shot yet. Let's just say that. So I'm sure the talent is extremely raw. but will be fun to watch. And regardless,
That's cool.
yeah,
Check
man.
it out.
But yeah, man, basketball, NBA basketball is, in my opinion, it's as good as it's ever been. You have so much skill, and a lot of these kids are just so skilled and talented. And more you have to be now. Like there's players in the league right now, or not in the league right now, that in years past would be like your seventh or eighth person off your bench. Those guys can't even make it into the NBA right now because there's too much talent and young talent of people that can do all the things that is necessary without the drama and the extra behavior. And a lot of these players that brought that behavior when the aging career comes, they're losing those jobs a lot quicker than they used to. And it's scary. It's different.
Is it a higher turnover?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong on that. Not going to fact check it, but I could be wrong, but it seems as so. There are going to be new teams though. Like Seattle probably is going to get a team. There's going to be some new teams coming into the league to expand the league. Yeah, they're changing a lot of the things in the league and the way they do things, and some for the better, probably some won't be, but it needs to be a better marketed. Like I think the big problem with sports right now is, and it's not, I guess, a problem. Yeah, it's a problem. They're getting all this money from these cable companies, so the cable companies have the rights to play their sporting event, and then they can turn around and that'll help them determine how much they can charge their customers for their online app services to watch these games. The NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, tennis, all of these things were, things that I guess maybe some of them were on cable, but those for a society, when you're a society, you need to entertain your society, right? Not so much with a TMZ type of news, you know what I mean? And that type of stuff, but with sports and activities and events and competitions. And that should be available for the most possible people to watch. Because when you have a lot of people doing that, they're not fighting. They're not online arguing over LGBTQ issues or what the definition of this woke is or this woke or what the fuck is woke. We need sports to be on basic television, like that you can get on an antenna, which the quality is amazing.
Is that okay? He's into the guts of it.
Dude, I've had that thing for 2 hours and she's already got it. So I'm going to go over there and grab it.
Yeah.
So you're going to carry the podcast.
Am I?
At a very high and efficient level. Cool. See you later. Bye.
All right. So tomorrow is, the dog ripped it up. Tomorrow is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. June 21. And then we start counting down to get back to December 21, short day. All right, we got the gap going, man. Yeah, it's done. So if you don't live anywhere near Central Florida, Southeast, you might not know that it's been super pleasant with east winds for a while. And I think maybe in the last 10 days when we were getting some rain, we got 8 inches in a week. And my nephew, Amerigo, got 17 inches in a week down in South Florida.
It's been raining nonstop, man.
Yeah, they got it down there. They got the slam.
It was pretty bad too. And when it rains down there, it floods.
Yeah, it was just that weather, going across the top or through the Caribbean Sea and then coming back and right onto Florida.
Yeah.
Just a train of wet.
All right, so we got some basketball talk out of the way.
Cool.
So we can bring back your deceit.
My deceit. My receipt.
Your receipt. We were talking about square groupers and bales and how cool it would be to find stuff. And you actually found one.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly me that found it.
You found it and profited off of it individually?
What it was it was the 80s. It was a Sunday.
It was 80 degrees out
No, it was the 80s.
last week?
And we were all out surfing early.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool and it was fun, you know. It was like 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun. And then in the wave, I seen a giant shark. And so I went in and I see my other buddy, Carl, on the beach, like kind of doing backflips. And it's like, damn, he's pretty excited about the shark. Yeah, I seen it, you know. And he's like, he's not stopping. And I'm like, what? And he shows me look at this. And it's a big rectangle.
Yeah.
And there's lots of stuff on the beach because it had been the east wind and all that. It was a big
When all like the crap and everything just all up on,
and
yeah.
sargassum, but it was maybe like, I don't know, it was like up in the middle of your thighs high. It was tall.
Wow.
And it was like 2 foot wide, 3 foot, 2.5 foot wide,
Wow.
3 foot wide, but it was big. And it took so everybody came in and we pushed it up the beach, you know, up toward the dune.
Yeah.
And it was Sunday. And I had to go to work. So we got into it. And in that, there was a bunch of little, 2 different sizes, the long and skinny and the half.
Yeah.
And it looked like, I don't know what was in there, like it was going to be the white stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It didn't end up being that. But
Yeah.
anyways, I had to go to work at the surf shop. And it was coming up like where tourists or regular people were coming up the boardwalk. You know, it wasn't early no more. So I think I had somebody on my shoulder. Somebody I remembered saying, "Don't be greedy if you come up on something."
Yeah.
So try not to be too greedy. But I think I did a couple trips with my board bag, all like, "Help me carry this,"
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
across the
man.
boardwalk, and then everybody was like frenzy and I was like, man, there's a lot of families and stuff coming over.
Yeah, it's that time.
So yeah, it was my time to go. So got
Yeah.
my little tea break off there.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I remember
That's
I went
awesome.
into town with this dude I knew named, just kidding.
Yeah. Right.
No, but he was cool. And on the way out the refuge, I seen they had the cop shop for the ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just remember a little wave going through me, and I look to my rear view and I see his hand waving. I'm like, okay, he's trying to calm me down. He's all older, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, anyways,
That is so rad.
I got the surf shop, and the week before, we only had one break in. Somebody smashed the window and stole some skateboards. It was expensive.
Oh, man.
Anyways, cut me getting to the back of it, you know, to open up, so I unlock the door and I go punching the alarm, and it didn't do nothing. And I got my car there, you know, I'm still packed up. And anyways, long story short, it went off and the cops came, and I'd call my boss. I was like, oh, you changed the alarm code and didn't tell me. Dang. See, that stuff happens when it needs to happen like that.
Exactly.
Anyways, that
Jeez.
flattened out, you know, and then I got to,
Damn.
after work, I got to cut into it, you know, and see
Yeah.
what was going on, because you never know what's going to be.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of weed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And it's, you know,
I gotcha.
I mean, it was tasty and
Yeah.
a lot of it. And for the day, back in the day, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the regs, if it was good regs, it was, you know.
Yeah. That's an epic find at the beach, man. Like surfing too. Playalinda of all places, probably. You know, any of those places, Cocoa Beach,
It migrated.
Satellite.
It migrated into right there right when you go past State Road 3 towards town.
Yeah.
And some of them woods, and then it migrated to Lantern Park behind in the woods there. And everybody was open it like a refrigerator and get me some. And then one day it was
That's so
gone.
cool, man.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So
it was
badass.
cool. Yeah. I remember we surfed down south a couple times in the 80s, like Spanish House up, you know, Melbourne Beach, and seeing we're done surfing, we're driving around, we see some surfers in the back of cop cars all bumming, and then cops everywhere, and there was bales washing up, and
And usually
Yeah.
they know when they're washing up, so they're probably getting kind of prepared. Like there's been some kind of plane that
this
has
was
spotted
like
them.
multiple bales. Yeah, I think the one that happened to us was just like the oneer that floated
Yeah,
on by.
that's
Forever
so
had
lucky.
barnacles on it.
Yeah.
But that day, I remember seeing more than one group of
Wow.
youngsters with the long face, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm just going surfing again. You're going to deal with all this.
I wonder
It
how many are
sucks.
at the bottom of the ocean on that anywhere up that stream or that trail, from down South America all the way up. Just that it's like there's got to be wreckages of all kinds,
yeah.
whether it's like cartel submarines
Gold.
or just like these boats that are trying to make like a gnarly trip, with some gnarly weather, and they're at the bottom of the ocean with, 100 fucking kilos of some cool shit in
We'll
it.
get down there, get the DNA, pull it up, and revive it.
Yeah, man,
I don't know.
that's stupid.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
super
cool.
So, all right. Well, the cops will be here soon because of that. We have some worries amongst the locals.
Hey,
What's going on?
But what it was T went to Ocean Beach that year. He went surfing out west.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sponsored by the Gulfstream.
That's too cool, actually, man.
So, yeah,
Sponsored
yeah,
by the Gulfstream. Thank you, Gulfstream.
yeah, it was cool.
Wait, do we have something where like locals are
So this
getting up in arms a
this
little bit?
old friend of mine, Ernie, he reached out to say there's some meetings going on, like somebody's gonna try and speculating about shutting more parts of the beach down, between New Smyrna and the tip of the Cape.
So okay? So back in the 80s, there was talk of the maybe NASA or the powers that be of gobbling up that whole area and saying we don't want the public out here at all.
It's always been looming, and in the 80s, as you may or may not remember, we had to fight real hard to keep the beach, and the road that you go to the beach on now
Yeah.
used to be the little back trail where you could drive by the ditch, but now it's the road. But there was a 3.5 mile bubble around that launch pad 39B that the road would barely go into it. Say close the beach all the time. Then he said we're just going to close it, and we really had to fight for that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the names elude me at the moment, but a lot of people really worked overtime for that Save Playalinda Beach campaign.
I remember that.
Anyways, Frank's always telling me that they're gonna start shooting missiles at the Shiloh area where State Road 3 goes up towards where it meets US 1 at the north end of the refuge up there near Edgewater. That he says he predicts they're gonna try and make all that private. And
Wow.
for my 2 cents, that would
suck.
Yeah, especially for it's like the gold for.
Well, I mean, part of it, it's obviously it's probably going to be up to the people of this town for
to rally
to make something happen, right? We're the ones that appreciate it, but we're also the ones that maybe it's not all just us, but that damage it. I go out to Holliver Canal, every once in a while, and you drive the back roads and fish a little bit and cast some lines out, and try to catch something. And every time you get out, you see, just cans and trash. And,
that is never tea.
And things all over out there.
Yeah.
And there's certain places, like there's the one area where you go all over Holliver Canal, like you're going north towards New Smyrna area.
Love that northwest quadrant.
And on the left, about a mile down, there's an observatory, like a big white bubble looking thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
And there's a road that goes right there. Yeah, there's a road that goes right there.
Yeah.
And you can like drive around, and it's so cool. Great fishing spot. Little holes on one side, and on the other there's the brackish water, on the other, and you can catch pigfish and some stuff over there in the and then go fish the other side. And actually, Jared and I used to go over and fish a little area, and there was a sign up, and the sign said, "If everybody keeps littering here, we're going to lose this." And trash everywhere. My daughter and I, we were going, out there every once in a while, and with a trash bag and some gloves and those little claws, and just trying to collect as many things as we can.
It's lame.
To throw in the trash and, we don't want to lose that stuff out there, man. Like, we want to keep all that shit out there for us. I love driving out there. I have so many memories and stories of this area, and being able to access something that is cool and that not many people can say they have access to, in their communities. There's biodiversity out there. There's, they're trying to help turn it into an attraction in a way, which is good and bad, right? Because you want to bring awareness and knowledge, and you want people to see these beautiful
parks,
things that we have. But yeah, you have to do it right.
Seashores, National Seashore.
Yeah, we pay money for our passes to go out there now. I think it's run very well as it is, as far as getting through the lines. They leave it open for us. When the boardwalks are going bad, they close them down. They fix them for us as quick as they can. I know Danny Quinn is one of the guys that does that, and it's a good friend of ours. And it's a lot of work keeping those dunes. And when we had that last storm, we lost most of that beach for half a year, closed down.
Is that Nicole?
Was it? I think
Maybe.
So. And everybody's like, damn, man. So when we started getting some of that beach back, man, you see how happy people were. Got some of our beach back.
Even in all the woods around there that is off limits. It used to be before like 1984, 5 that you could just anywhere. I'm going in the woods right there. And now they got signs.
And there's freshwater ponds back there that are just loaded with fish.
The Triangle. Cottonmouths.
Mockingbird is a beautiful little drive out there where you could drive around and see nature, and there's all kinds of there's a lot of burial grounds out there. There's a lot of headstones that you'll find. There's a lot of there used to be a lot of old houses, a lot of homes out that way.
Crane showed me one time when we was up there by that radar thing he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me where they cultivated the land for sugar cane.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Oh man.
You ever look at them? Yeah, you can look at some of the aerial maps and see that on those little islands.
I bet, man. That's cool.
What's it called? Gallinipper Bay.
Okay. And you got Eddy Creek.
Yep, it's got the famous tunnel that goes from the ocean to the.
It's got it, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say with the for the grouper.
That's where the aliens are
coming back and forth.
Yeah, they're loading up.
That'll be the start of that'll be our future inlet right there, right?
Yeah, it's got to be right there where it washes over.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
They say there used to be an inlet there. Like some of the old maps say that there was a occasional, like it opens up once in a while, then close up.
That would be almost kind of cool if it was in a way, because that could be a good, washing out of the river, but you don't want to ruin your grasses with your redfish, spawning.
I've seen some people speculated that right there maybe used to be where the St. John flowed out. And also if you look at like the tip of like Cape Hatteras right there near Diamond Shoals, well, on the back side on the cusp of the Cape, they have sometimes it's an inlet leading to the backwater, sometimes it's not.
Wow.
Similar.
That's pretty cool.
And that they got a new inlet that at the right south of the lighthouse there. Mm-hmm. That inlet was caused by like erosion.
Wow.
That's the one the shark swam in way up north and went in the backwaters and came out that inlet. A great white.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it'd be like the Indian River, a big dog.
Wow. Yeah. And there's some big dogs in there.
I know there's some big alligators. Frank told me they wrestled with I think it was like a 12-footer over there at that long skinny lake at the Sandpoint.
Oh crap. A 12-footer?
That's what he's saying.
Damn.
Yep.
There's a tarpon lake over there, over that bridge too, where Vectorworks and Harbor Lights and all that on the other side of the railroad tracks right there. There's like a little lake and some houses on the other side of it.
I grew up there.
A buddy of mine used to throw in tarpon spoons and stuff like that and get tarpon to hit and try to catch them, and they'd be like rolling.
They're big.
Huge. They say they'd go, there's a tunnel underneath that they'd come up as babies, and they got too big to get back out.
Yep, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, like in the 70s, I'd go back there in them woods between that and the causeway by the Suzuki Bridge, and I'd see gator nest.
Wow.
You know,
that's all going to get developed too.
Well, that's a cool spot.
Oh, that's where Maxie's was and Titusville Bowl.
Oh, that, yeah.
In that area across the street, even from on the other side of US 1 from there.
They get a great breeze.
And that's the area we're talking about. And we've seen on Garden Street, you've seen it coming on farms, you know, right on the road get put up. There used to be the bait shop. Lily's Bait and Tackle was there at the
bus station.
The bus station for a long time, and that's been a bunch of different tackle shops and little things. And that's a unique owned property. Like the one part of the property was like owned by the state, and the other part of it was privately owned. But you had to lease this property to have access to the other.
Back behind that property, over the tracks. When you go over the bridge and you're headed south, there used to be, when I was a kid, there used to be a lake there, and they kept putting, like, I don't know what it was they put in it, probably trash, but they filled it all up. Wow. I don't know what.
Always liked coming up that bridge, because you'd be coming from North Titusville, you know, coming down US 1 from Mims area, and you get to that one little area, you pass the hospital on the left, and you get up and you come up that little hill, you know.
Cool.
You got Suzuki on the right, you know, you got some parish buildings and blah, blah, blah. But then you come up and you kind of turn, and then when you look to your left, you got the Titusville Marina there. And then you can see the bridge and everything. And when things look good there, that's a beautiful little spot for Titusville.
Take a lot of pictures of that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was a cool spot.
I think I got some photos from January. I don't know if you know about this, when sometimes when the water stays warm in the winter and we don't have a hard front for a while, and then a blaster comes through, there'll be plumes of purple steam coming off the Gulf Stream, and that view coming up that hill, you can see it real good.
Oh, wow.
It's a backdrop. You know?
Wow. It's if you go over behind the college and parish
Chain of Lakes,
and you got the Chain of Lakes Park out there now, and if you go over to the observatory and you could, you know, walk up the top of the tower there. Kids and I used to do that all the time. I haven't done it in so long.
That's cool.
And we used to love going there because you can see everything, and it kind of shows you we're in this weird swampy-ish kind of town. There's so much of our town that's swamp that we filled in. There's extensions between Garden and 50, you know, that used to be just one little tiny road and swamps, and they keep filling it in and adding a neighborhood, filling it in a little more and adding another neighborhood. And it's interesting.
That's a big sprawl they got going at the northwest quadrant of Garden and 95.
Yeah.
All that neighborhood.
What do you see as the outlook, though? I mean, we hear about these awesome projects. We hear, you know, some of the clam beds that they're bringing back into our Indian River. They're bringing seagrass back in, and they're doing it successfully in some areas there, to where now they've actually said, now that we see that we have a way to do this, to revive these things, let's do it. So they're doing it, right? Or they're going to be. Then you hear, you know, some of the state's plans on restoring the pipelines and the plumbing the right way for the Everglades, and the things that they did to make the Everglades sick and to make Lake Okeechobee sick, they're trying to correct now. And the guy that's been advocating to correct this for all these years is one of the guys they actually have running the show, you know, and taking, you know, as part of their team. And he seems very optimistic about it. From your take or from your circle of people, do you feel the same way, you think?
I've read a little bit about that, you know, the dynamics of that situation. I guess I'm going to pull it right back up to right here and say that I don't know what it takes to get this, but I would just love to see, like, the river where it's abundantly thriving, like, noticeably, like, look at all the fish, look at all the birds, because we're way behind the 8 ball, and I'd love the strides that we're making and all the groups and stuff. hat tips. But what would stoke me out is if we saw it really lively, just chock full like it used to be.
I want to have my dad on the show sometime so he can tell us about his memories of going out there and getting bait fish and how they used to go out there and just dig for clams and then just to go out to Playalinda and fish with huge clams.
Do you ever go to City Hall and see the old photos of what fish they were pulling out the river?
Oh yeah,
that kind of lively.
I remember you used to see pelicans everywhere. We used to go fish out at the Police Hall of Fame out there on that dock there.
Yeah.
Right to the left.
Space bar.
Yeah, it has like a gazebo to the left, and then you can go way out, And we used to go all the way out to the outside. My dad had a cast net, and we would set up 3 or 4 rods and wave them out. And one would have like Sailor's Choice on it or pigfish on it. One would have mullet on it. One would have a shrimp on it. One would be a shrimp with a bobber. One would be on the ground. And, we'd catch trout, red, all kinds of cool fish, and then became puffer fish and like shitfish kind of, a bunch of bait steel, catfish, tons of catfish. And so I remember seeing it slowly just die off. Like we would come home with a cast net of mullets so big that you could just fillet them, and bake them in the oven with butter. Oh, so freaking good.
Even what we got to see still was a shade
of what it was.
And I'm saying teeming with life. That's your barometer. Can I get in the water? That's your barometer. Can I eat the fish out the water? There it is.
No doubt.
Like
I hope so.
Whatever it takes to get there, that'd be really cool. I guess we're sentimental for like wanting it to be what?
Yeah, we want it to be what we want it to add value to the lives of the people that choose to call this home. Like it's changing too. So much is changing. Some for the better, some a little gnarly, who knows. But change scares a lot of people. And see what happens. Usually change brings a lot of bad first and then corrections and then you get to the good or you get to some yin yang of balance.
We got Frank and we got Stell.
Yeah, dude. Rock stars, man.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. We just get to sit back and just,
everybody
tell us things.
They work with the Weiss, John Weiss and his crew, the zoo, there's people.
There is. A shout out to Nick at Kelsey's. He has a beautiful rant on pizza, the best pizza in town that he posted in. I saw it was on Facebook. I'm not sure if it was on Instagram.
Okay.
But he goes, sorry guys for the rant, but this is going to be a long one. And dude,
so much.
This is a few pager. Right. And it's based on the question, who has the best pizza in Titusville? Dun, dun, dun. So I love his answer. He just has the perfect, Big Nick, boss man answer. You know what I mean?
You're making me want to get some pizza.
I know, man.
I told you that.
We got some Leos the other day, some Grumleys.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I had some of that. It was good. I had the thin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We, Jared ordered a couple days ago pizza through DoorDash from them. And they accidentally delivered it to the pool place next to us,
Oh, yeah.
And Pinch Penny.
Yep.
And it was 4 pizzas that Jared ordered. Jared always has some kind of drama around every situation he's in nowadays. And I come home come back from lunch break, and there's pizza there, and most of it's gone. And sit down, Jared's like, yeah, they delivered it next door first. And we did have 4 pizzas, but they ate one of them before the driver could get back to pick up the pizzas that weren't theirs.
Damn.
Like, we got a guy named Jared that works here too. We just thought he ordered them for us.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, right. Come on. You accepted those pizzas.
Wow.
Well played, sirs.
Yeah.
But, man, it was really good. It was awesome. And I saw Micah Saturday. We were shopping over at Marshall's.
Micah Nix.
And his wife was there. Cancer-free right now.
That's great.
Just huge. Had his family and kids. And are out shopping, just having a beautiful day. And we were doing the same thing. It was Allie and Silas and I. And Silas has a whole new wardrobe.
I heard.
He went from age 11 to 12 now. Went from one size to a completely different size kid. And we had to get rid of probably 80% of the things in his room throughout this year. So he had a lot of fun shopping.
Yeah, I remember them days.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Go to school. And this is early, too, into it. So it was great. Let's call it an evening.
Cool.
Thank you. Hopefully,
Okay.
Colleen, we'll see you next weekend.
Yes.
We love you. Maybe we'll get Brent on. We need to get Brent on. I really want to get him on.
And who else? We trying to Diane with the horses.
We have Diane with the horses to come up and talk
Cricket.
about. We have you have the best guest that you set up for the show, and I just trust all of it. So as far as
Computer Lee.
lining these up, man, let's just kind of keep doing what we're doing and getting them on the show, man.
Cool.
If we can get what was her name? The horses?
Diane.
Diane. We're in a little group text.
Yep.
I know we were talking a little bit.
They might got a dog for tea.
What the? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, you need a dog, man.
Yeah.
If you need a dog, just talk to me, man. I got a bunch of dogs.
You are dogging.
You gotta just pinpoint we can negotiate some terms. No, that'd be cool though if you get an awesome dog, and I'm
Yeah.
sure she's got some awesome. I follow that Forever Animal Care place, and I'm on their Facebook, and I share their dogs every day, almost on my page. It's amazing the quality of animal that people just give up and give away to people. And just, I mean, I know there's circumstances for everybody and for all, I mean, we've all been there in some way, shape, or form where some gnarly, decisions got to be made. But man, it's at such people just don't seem to care the same way. Like every morning when these people go to work, man, they're just dogs at the front door, new dogs all the time. I mean, that's how we got Butters. That's how Blue got here. That's how all Loki, even the Husky, even like a quality dog like that's a Pomsky kind of dog is $1,000 dog. Just go right up there and get whatever you want and just have that right. I love them, man. I think they're amazing. So Forever Animal Care.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to all of you and Janelle and
Thank
everybody that works there. It's pretty amazing. Until next week, we will see you soon.
Cool. We out.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright.
Dude, that shit's killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.